Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to present a quite unusual poem by Du Fu. As I mentioned in my video about text poems, poetry was mostly used as a means to enter politics during Imperial China. So, the majority of classical poetry is about the political or military ambitions, political vision, complaints of failed policies, or the suffering of people as the result of failed national or international policies, as in the case of Du Fu. Poetry about romantic love was quite rare until a generation later by poets such as Bai Jiyi, Yuan Zhen, Li Shangyin, or Wen Tingyun. Even the great poet Li Bai only composed a few poems about romantic love among his over 1,000 poems existing today. The same is true for Du Fu. Among his 1,500 poems, less than a dozen poems are about romantic love. More interestingly, one of his love poems for his wife was unusually explicit by describing a part of his wife's body, which was quite inappropriate for Tang Dynasty officials. Don't get me wrong, there is nothing racy about the poem I'm presenting today. It is just that the Chinese people are extremely conservative when it comes to the female body. The most explicit description about the female body in Tang poetry is limited to the hair, eye, and eyebrow, nothing else. If a poet would like to push the boundary a little bit, he might describe her teeth, lips, hands, or waist, etc. But such poems are often describing the bodies of a courtesan or a female entertainer, as in the case of Bai Jiyi, never the wife. So, I suspect this poem by Du Fu was only for the eye of his wife. But unfortunate for him and fortunate for us, it leaked out and was included in his poetry collection, so we get to read it today. The conventional image of Du Fu we have today is the old sage, who always concerned about the suffering of his people and lamenting about that he did not get a chance to enlighten his emperor and advise him to build the Confucian paradise envisioned by Confucius. We often forget that he was once a young man. I was very happy when I saw the movie 30,000 Miles from Chang'an that presents Du Fu first as a lovely little boy and then as an energetic young man. It is so refreshing to know that the old sage of poetry was also once young. This poem also shed light on what sort of person Du Fu was. Like all the young men, he was once passionately in love, acted silly and carefree. The title of this poem is 月夜, or A Moonlit Night. The poem was composed in 756 CE when he was called by the Anlushan rebellious army at Chang'an. If you would like to know what happened to Du Fu at this time, please check out my second video about him. Here's the link. Now, let me read the poem in Chinese first. 今夜福州月，闺中只独看。遥怜小儿女，未解忆长安。香雾云鬟湿，清辉玉臂寒。何时已虚晃，双照泪痕干。Now, let's look at the first two couplets. 今夜福州月，闺中只独看。遥怜小儿女，未解忆长安。今夜 means tonight. Fuzhou was a small county indicated by the pink star in this map, which was north to Chang'an, indicated by the red star. The dark purple arrows show the advancing force of An Lushan's rebel forces. So Fuzhou was out of the path of An Lushan's force. Du Fu organized his family stay there, while he traveled to Lingwu, indicated by the green star, to join the crown prince, who was organizing the town army to fight the rebels. Yue means moon, Gui means Buddha, Zhong means inside, Zhi means only, Du means alone, Kan means watch, Yao means afar, Lian usually means to care or love, but here we translate it as miss because the poet shows his love from afar. Xiao means little, means son, 女 means daughter. So we translate 小儿女 as the little ones. Wei means not yet. 解 means to know enough. Yi usually means to remember, but here it also means to miss. Chang'an is the capital of Tang. Since Du Fu was caught up at Chang'an, Chang'an here is used as a reference to the poet himself. So David and I replace it with the personal pronoun me. So the two couplets can be translated as: Tonight, in her boudoir in Fuzhou, she only watches the moon alone. I miss the little ones from afar, yet they do not know enough to miss me. 香雾云环湿，庆会玉臂寒。何时已虚晃，双照泪痕干。香 means fragrant, 雾 means mist, 云 means clouds. 环 refers to a rather elaborate hairdo as shown in this picture. 云环 refers to the big hairdo like this one. 湿 means damp. 清 means clear. 灰 refers to the moonlight. 玉 means jade. 璧 means arm. However, 玉璧 does not mean an arm made of jade. It is often used to refer to the naked arms of a beautiful woman, just like the phrase of 玉体 means a beautiful woman's naked body. Here is a picture I got from the white page selling jade fingering. As you can see, this is the imagery the poet had in his mind of the color and texture of the jade-like arms. Han means cold. I also decided to use the past tense for this couplet, because the imagery here can also be interpreted as a scene from the past when the poet and his wife were together. I'll explain the reasons later in my analysis. 何时 means when. 已 means lin. 虚 usually means empty or unreal. However, here it refers to the thin silk, which was translucent as if it was not there. 黄 refers to curtain. So 虚黄 refers to the seer curtain. 双 means a pair. 照 means shine. As we know, the order of characters in classical Chinese poetry is often flexible. So 双照 is the same as 照双, meaning shine on a pair of something. David and I believe that the character Shuang is not related to the tear stains, but the people with tear stains on their faces. Because the last line in this couplet is a rhetorical question. We believe the poet was wondering when he would be reunited with his wife and shed the happy tears together. So we integrated the character Shuang into the translation in the plural pronoun Wei as the subject of this couplet. 泪 means tear. hen means stain. Gan means dry. So the two couplets can be translated as: her band of hair was damp in the fragrant mist. In the clear moonlight, her jet-like arms felt cold. One will lean against the sear curtains as the moon shines on our dried tear stains. We know quite a lot about the historical context of this poem due to the several other poems Du Fu composed at this time. With a cross-examination of the historical records, poems from Du Fu and others, scholars can identify the time at the August of 756 CE when Du Fu was just caught by the rebels and forced to do manual labor before he eventually escaped later that year. We can even guess it was the night of the 15th of lunar August, when it was a full moon at night. Du Fu missed his family terribly, because the 15th of August was usually the time when the whole family gathers to celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival. But now he was alone and suffering the unbearable hardship of a manual labor, which he might never experience in his whole life. It is rather amazing that an explicit imagery of the wife's naked arm was presented in the third couplet of this poem. Du Fu's wife was the daughter of a high-ranked official, the deputy minister of agriculture named Yang Yi. They were married when Du Fu turned 29 and she was 19. Apparently, she was a real beauty with luxurious hair and jet white skin. The imagery presented in this poem was certainly not from the time when they were running for their lives as war refugees. It was probably from the early days of their marriage. It was a night with bright moonlight like this night. She just came out of a bath. Her hair was still wet and wrapped by fragrant mist. Her jet white arm shone under the moonlight and felt a little cold. This is a rather erotic imagery and should be kept in the bedroom. It would be extremely inappropriate to share such a poem with anyone but the wife herself. For whatever reason, we get to read it more than 1,000 years later. How amazing! I would also like to talk a little bit about the color of jet white. Most of the jet is green. Only the jet from Hetian is the color of creamy white. Because such jet is hard to get, it was highly valued since ancient time. Chinese people also prefer fair skin rather than dark skin, because lower class people often have dark skin tone due to their exposure to the sun while working outside. So the color of the creamy white is regarded as beautiful skin color. To give you some idea of the jet white color, here is a picture of jet figurine of the Buddha of Mercy, or Guanyin. The jet white color is still the preferred skin color in China today. On the right is a picture of a well-known Chinese actress, Fan Bingbing, who is regarded as the most beautiful woman in China. Her skin color is quite close to the color of jet white. The last couplets present a scene from the past and one from future. It is clear the first line refers to a scene from the past when they lived a comfortable life and could afford fine silk curtains in their bedroom. But the second line refers to a scene the poet imagined when he gets home and reunited with his family. I hope I did not ruin your impression of Du Fu as an old sage who voiced the suffering of his people in his poetry and hoped that he could do right for his people. I would like to show you that Du Fu was a wholesome person. He loved his wife and children. More importantly, he got to marry the girl he was in love with and enjoyed a long and happy marriage, which was very rare during Imperial China. He also composed quite a few poems describing the moments he and his wife enjoying the peaceful life at Chengdu, where their little cottage is still preserved today. Now, I won't be doing the comparison between our translation with that of Stephen Owens. I'll post our translation side by side in the community page, and you can tell me which one you prefer and why you prefer one over the other. Better still, you can also show me how would you translate those lines. I'm Dr. Gao, a philosopher obsessed with poetry. I make videos about classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, and traditional Chinese medicine. Please click the like button and subscribe my channel. Your support is very important to me. If you would like to donate to my channel, please find the Patreon link in the homepage of my channel or the description section down below. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. So if you would like to read original Chinese with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.